Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This is part 3 of Andrew Tate smacking Piers Morgan in Bucharest, Romania, in an interview that occurred a few days ago and published or uploaded today. So Piers Morgan does a poor job, a good job, because he gets the smackdown to the poor job that he's doing to attack Andrew Tate's character and everything Andrew Tate stands for. Good or bad, and Andrew Tate, I understand where he's coming from. I agree with a lot of things that he says, and the other guy is just a weasel. Now, I already made 2 videos, part 1, part 2. This is part 3 on this interview of 1 hour and 15 minutes long. I watched the whole video, so I have a series of clips that I picked to discuss about this interaction. In this clip that I'm going to discuss in the third part is a video where these guys are discussing how Andrew Tate is a misogynist. So let's see. Not only that, misogynist. So Piers accused Andrew Tate that he's a misogynist, and because he said something 10 years ago, Andrew Tate said something 10 years ago about being a pimp or something like that. Like, we never said pimp or something. And this Andrew Tate made a case like, what, other people say I'm a pimp in the songs, and it doesn't mean that they are, but say, oh, let me read you a long excerpt of whatever you said in the past. And say, okay, let's go. And this is what it's all about. Andrew Tate does not back down.
Single person, every single man out there has done things worse than I've done. In fact, I will argue, if you put 99.9% of men through the level of scrutiny I've been through by multiple federal agencies, you will find a lot worse than him saying he was a pimp on the internet 9 years ago. You will find actual genuine crime. And I've done nothing. I live true to God. This is all garbage, and it's not real.
Like I said to you, I don't know if you're guilty or not.
I do,
okay.
And I am not guilty.
No, but
it's a matrix attack.
I want to be clear to you, I'm not preempting your guilt. I've come here with a completely open mind.
I don't think so. The questions say another story here.
Just serious offences, but I am not going to judge you because I'm not a judge. This is not a courtroom, right? But it's interesting to me that one of the biggest charges against you is that you're a misogynist. And you've always said, I'm not a misogynist. And then the last time I interviewed you, you said, well, I may have said some things that may have been misconstrued. But even in the last week, you've tweeted some stuff, which I'm not even sure if you're aware as you tweet this stuff, how it sounds.
That means I don't think you are capable of understanding. The same thing that it's very irritating. I don't think you understand how it sounds. It means you're kind of like infantile. You don't understand the consequences of your words. Like, you can't satisfy everyone.
Okay, let's read. This is quite a long one.
Sure.
But I think it's important to read it to get a sense of how you view women.
Absolutely.
Any woman I date does not have a job. Okay, so the woman you're with doesn't have a job?
No.
Okay. Do you date other women?
Sometimes.
And your partner's fine with that?
Obviously.
Yeah? And you're fine with that?
Why wouldn't I be?
This guy is unapologetic, and that guy cannot grab him by anything. He's unapologetic, and he can't say it's wrong. He said he's not a judge, so he can't say that. And if he says that, this guy's going to say, who are you to judge me? So he's unapologetic because Piers Morgan's questions, one after another, were to try to have him cornered. And he did not. He said, yeah, no, I have no problem. No, she doesn't, obviously.
You think it's fine to be dating other women when you have a mother and a kid?
I think we're consenting adults and everybody can...
Do you think it's fine? We're consenting adults.
Own personal decisions.
Okay, fair enough. Why would I be...
Fair enough. Why in the hell you ask that question if it's fair enough?
You say to have hundreds of millions for my woman to waste her life in slaved pennies. No, I will give you a life you can never ever afford. Private jets, 5-star hotels, new cars, endless spending money and diamonds. You will be rich because you're praying for me every day and protecting my spirit. I work in the physical world, she works in the spirit realm. Women shouldn't have to work because being a good partner is a full-time job for a woman. She has to look good. All the beauty treatments are time intensive. Not about money, it takes a lot of time. She has to train every day and stay in fantastic shape. Shop to look amazing next to me. I know there are some men who do 100 times more than this on a daily basis, but women are not as organized as men, and achieving anything significant causes them huge amounts of stress. Yeah. They need to have huge sections of their day empty to waste, or they will have a mental breakdown. True. And do you want a woman who's stressed and angry after the commute, unshaven and exhausted? Or do you want a Barbie doll who's always smiling and saying thank you because she did her nails and brought you Prada that day? As a man, unless you're a loser, you're already filthy rich, right? You can get endless sex anyway. Girls are easy. So what can a girl give you? Happiness, vibes, always smiling. Take the edge off a stressful life. Can she always be happy if she's been working all day? No. Just to wake up at 11, gym till 1, one appointment and some shopping. Dress beautiful by 7 p.m. for you to finish working and tell you how strong you are. No matter how pissed off you are, just to always be laughing and smiling and writing little notes about how you're perfect. And just to be playful and funny. She can't do that if she has a job. So your job is being my girlfriend, and now you're a millionaire. Congratulations. Behave and aim for the promotion to wife.
Behave and aim at the promotion of wife. Now, misogynistic, we're going to see what his answer is.
All that in detail was, I don't think you understand quite how that comes over, because I think that is the purest definition of misogyny I've probably ever read.
Well, I don't think you understand. One, especially when I'm talking about the fact that women can't handle what men can do, etc. One, it's slightly sarcastic. There's a sarcastic tone.
So do you mean any of this?
I mean all of it. Any woman I'm with, I will provide for because
no woman should work. They should spend all day beautifying themselves for you, right? And they might get promoted to wife. Your job is being my girlfriend. There are hundreds of millions of...
I watched all this interview. It's not over. I will play further. I watched the entire interview, 1 hour and 15 minutes and 23 seconds or so. Piers Morgan interviews Andrew Tate, speaks more than Andrew Tate. I think about 70% or between 75 or 80% of the whole thing is Piers Morgan, and maybe 20% is Andrew Tate. So who interviewed whom? So this guy, instead of asking questions and open-ended questions or maybe pointed questions, he's just talking. His questions are like this long. When Andrew Tate tries to respond, he interrupts him at the first answer, and then again he keeps his only blah 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 blah, and then again Andrew Tate is allowed to answer about maybe 3 or 4 words. Piers intervenes again, and again interrupts him with a 2 minutes, 3 minutes imbecility. Now, who's interviewing whom here? Piers Morgan is not interested in interviewing Andrew Tate. It's about lecturing Andrew Tate and making him seem like an idiot by not allowing him to express his full answer. Because some answers need more than yes and no. So when this guy is trying to explain, this guy interrupting him and changing the subject after he lectured him a little bit of his short answer, not allowing him to complete his answer, he changes the subject. We as the viewers, if we don't know what's going on, we say, well, yeah, that answer was idiotic, but it was stopped by this idiot Piers Morgan, and that's why it was idiotic. And then he said, okay, let's talk about something else. No, I didn't finish my answer. If I would be interviewed, I would not go further. I did not answer that one. No, let's go back to that one. No, I'm not going to answer this. Let's go back. I haven't leveled it with you. So let's go back to this guy. He thought that Andrew Tate would say, no, actually, I don't agree with everything. He said at the beginning, well, it was, but he said, yeah, I believe everything.
Around the world who do a good day's work, who still manage to be a very good wife or partner.
Agreed, completely. But it's my
So
life.
why would you encourage...
Again, agree. And why would you? Again, stopped him there from answering.
Encourage a whole generation of young men. I mean, I've got to be honest, since our last 2 interviews...
He's talking again.
Before you were arrested, I would say every single day...
Why don't we let that guy talk for a change? The guy who's interviewed, actually.
Young men, teenage boys, maybe early 20s, coming up to me, asking about you. It's gone on every day since I interviewed you. I'm very aware of your reach. I'm very aware of your influence. And whenever I've been asked about you, they say, what do you think of him? I said, I don't really know. I find myself agreeing with 60 to 70% of the things you say. And I do, because I think a lot of the stuff you say about empowering young men to be confident, to work out.
Again, he's talking. Again, he's going to allow him to talk, maybe.
Young men to be confident, to work out, to take care of themselves.
To have enough money to not force their woman to work.
Right, well, that's the bit. That's the bit where, when you stray into that kind of language, particularly in the detail where you reveal what you're really thinking, the kind of pathetic, soulless life you want for these women, where does it allow?
He's lecturing. He's moralizing Tate. That's what he's doing. He's not asking a question. He's moralizing him. And when Tate is allowed to speak, he's going to stop him.
Mother, for example.
Absolutely, that's
How does a mother of your
Again,
children
absolutely, and this guy took over.
to find time for being a mother
in
this routine of love and devotion to you?
How does having a job give her time to be a mother? This gives her all the time in the world to be a mother. One, it's slightly sarcastic, firstly.
What do you mean?
Well,
Do you mean
can tell by the tone.
Do you mean you don't mean it?
No, I mean it.
Well,
He tries to destroy his character. What do you mean? You're lying? You don't mean it? You're just fake? That's the point of Piers right here.
But it's slightly sarcastic.
well, sarcasm
for
means
comedic effect.
sarcasm means you don't mean it.
No, I mean it. But it's slightly
Well, you either
sarcastic.
mean it or you don't. It's either sarcastic or it's not.
I mean every single word.
But this is the conundrum with you, Andrew. Andrew,
Sarcastic.
this is the conundrum with you, right?
It's not a conundrum.
Again, he plays like a father teaching a child, hey, you're wrong, you don't understand you're wrong, Tate. This is so irritating, man. This weasel. But Tate is going to be allowed to speak now, and he's going to explain the idiot.
If you'd let me explain, it's not a conundrum at all.
You tweet-
and also,
you
what'd be very
tweet this-
interesting, I tweeted this out. I get thousands of women
Yeah.
begging me, inboxing me, saying, finally a man who understands he needs to provide for a woman so she can be her best self.
Right.
This is exactly the kind of life that will allow
No,
women to
there
become a
are
mother.
definitely women that will absolutely love to be
So why don't you
treated
are
like
they
this.
misogynists?
No, but what I think they're people who just basically, it's the old sugar daddy thing, right? They want to have a rich guy who's going to pamper them and take care of them. They don't have to do a day's work. They just have to make
Being a
themselves
good partner
look
is a
good for
day's
you.
work.
Well, so you say.
Yeah.
But it also, the language that you use here seriously diminishes women who do work. You make them out to be, well, you're not doing your job as a partner or wife. You should be doing your job, which is just to devote yourself to his
He's not going to
pleasure
stop
and
them
making
from
him
Well,
working.
it's actually interesting you say that because I'll put a lot of the fault of this on men. Let's if you want to gender the argument, let's do that. I think that a lot of the reason why women can't live this life, if they so choose, if you're a woman who decides to work, then go to work. I don't care. But if you're a woman who decides she wants to retire, it's because she can't find a man who could provide for her at this level. Do you think when a woman marries a billionaire that she wants to go get a job in Starbucks? Because in my experience, when they marry extremely successful men, they don't want a job. I'm sure
That's true.
his wife isn't begging to go work in IKEA.
Actually,
No.
Ronaldo's wife works very hard.
She works for herself. Do you think when a woman marries a billionaire that she wants to go get a job in Starbucks? Because in my experience, when they marry extremely successful men, they don't want a job. I'm sure Ronaldo's wife isn't begging to go work in IKEA.
Actually,
No.
Ronaldo's wife works very hard.
She works for herself, which is different.
And her family.
Of course.
Yeah.
Which is
She's a
different.
hard-working woman. actually.
Absolutely, because being a fantastic partner and having a bunch of children is a bunch of hard work. And she also finds the energy to have businesses on the side. Fantastic.
But you
So
don't
what we're
want,
saying here,
yeah, but you don't want women to have business.
no, I'm saying if you're with a man of my stature, you don't have to work. Now, if I met a perfect
He is attacking him right now. What do you mean your stature?
woman and we were together and we were happy.
When you say a man of your stature, with respect, right now you have no income, no possessions,
Correct. I'm
and you're
completely
facing
flat
facing
broke.
serious criminal charges. I mean, I'm not quite sure what stature you think you're currently selling, but it ain't great.
Okay, well then it's a shame all those women inboxed me after I put that tweet out saying,
I've got no-
we agree with you. I think you should interview all
I met
of
a
them for
woman
their
yesterday who, when I
misogynistic
said I
views.
was coming to...
Anyway, my friends, again, this is how this went. He attacked him, lectured him, interrupted him. Andrew Tate kept his cool, was outside of it, gave the right answers, and he didn't bow down to this imbecile. That's how we do it. But the problem is here, Andrew Tate doesn't have to bow down. He doesn't have to make a name for himself. He's already there. That's why many times I said about millionaires and billionaires who can do that and they don't do it. They don't speak out. They don't speak out. Why? Because they're going to lose some money. Yeah, that's a lot of money for us. But still, I think truth is more important than that, isn't it? So this is part 3. I'm going to go to part 4, part 5. There's more to go. So watch this weasel. You can go watch the whole thing, 1 hour and 15 minutes. And as I said, the dynamic is the Piers Morgan is talking all the time and he's attacking Andrew Tate without success. Why? Andrew Tate is smarter, faster, has the information, he's not afraid. I don't know, and he's having fun. The other guy doesn't have fun. That's for the other guys, I think his balls, little balls are sweaty big time. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.